All right. So, Mr. Smith, could you go ahead and tell us all how old you are?
I'm 65.
Ooh, still young, right?
Still really young.
Okay. And what do you do for a living?
A diesel mechanic for Covenant Transport.
Okay. And so you've been able to see a lot of leaders in action, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so, while it would be possible to talk about uh, leadership within businesses and stuff, it's also true that you had a very large family.
Yes.
How big was your family?
Had 7 children.
Mm-hmm. And would you say that there are some leadership skills that come from having a large family?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. And so I figure perhaps maybe it would be better to talk about leadership within family because that's some things that it doesn't seem like people know how to do nowadays.
Right.
So, so you had 7 kids. Were they all your biological children?
No, I had 4 of my own. And my wife had 3 when we got married.
Okay. And so when you guys got together, were you both working?
Yes.
Okay. And so, how old? What were like the age range of the children when you two got together?
I think her oldest and my oldest were probably about 7.
Okay. So still real young.
Yeah, very young.
Okay. So how did you manage to lead a family while both of you were working?
It took a lot of prayer and had to do your time. She fortunately had a job where she worked nights, and I worked days, so there was very little lapse between where
Hmm.
kids weren't by themselves too often.
Right.
And just try to lead by example.
Mhm.
I don't know how good that did, but that was the plan.
Mhm. Was it rewarding leading such a large family?
Yeah, rewarding and a challenge.
Mhm. Do you want to explain
We
that?
tried to set an example of a work environment. They
Mhm.
knew that she worked, I worked. You had to work if you got anything,
Mhm.
and we set up chores for them to do, and they had so many chores they had to do each
Mhm.
week, and
Mhm.
we'd reward them different ways.
Yeah.
It worked out pretty good.
Yeah. Mm, obviously, um, you got into this leadership position, quote unquote, just because you got married. Were you ever nervous about like adding extra kids to the family?
No, I don't know if we ever thought about it. 7 was enough.
Right,
I think it was where she couldn't have any more children anyway.
right. But
Uh,
when you got married, like
but
you guys brought the
we,
families together.
we've had some of their friends that
Mhm.
would have problems at home sometime. They'd come stay with us for a short length of time.
Uh huh.
But yeah, most of the time it was just the 7,
Mhm.
keeping them busy and
Mhm.
was a handful.
How how did you have meaningful relationships with 7 children?
Well, we probably didn't do it as good as we could have or should have, but
Mhm.
with her working, me working, but we did all right. I mean, we worked with them cooking and
Uh huh.
cleaning and as much one on one as we could with them.
Right.
Sure, some of them felt less and some of them probably felt more, but
Mhm.
we tried to be equal about it.
Yeah. How important was time management?
Oh man, yeah, man, it was a problem sometimes,
Yeah.
especially with her working night. I mean, and there was a space between there, where they were by themselves, so it was. They probably didn't manage their time real good.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
mean, a lot of their chores probably got done in the last 10 minutes before I got there.
Yeah.
after she left,
Mhm.
but they got to it.
Uh,
It was all right.
what advice would you have for people looking to getting into the leadership role of starting a family?
Uh, well, be ready to, like I say, lead by example and pray through it. It takes a lot of prayer,
Yeah.
but it's exciting. I mean,
Mhm.
I would do it again.
Yeah. Do you feel what do you think's the thing people are getting wrong when they're trying to lead families in this day and age?
And I don't think they are. I think they're just letting their kid run wild. It seems like, and they're so involved in video games that there's no parenting involved. Very little.
Mhm.
There's no outside activities for kids. They don't know what it is to get out and raise a ruckus.
Right.
All their ruckus is visual.
Uh huh.
So to get them off them games, that's a challenge nowadays.
Yeah. And then last question. Um, because how long have you been at your job right now?
The one I'm at right now,
Yes, sir.
15 years.
Okay, 15 years. So you've been long enough to see like younger people come into work, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so would you say you've seen the results of maybe no leadership at the home?
yes.
And what does that look like?
And I've seen, you can tell the difference right away.
Okay.
You can tell when they've had leadership at home, they come in, they're polite, they're
Mhm.
courteous, they attend to what you want them to do.
Uh-huh.
And then you can tell the ones that didn't have any attention at home because you can't tell them anything, they don't listen to anything,
Mhm.
they already know it.
Mhm.
So it makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
You can tell if they've learned respect or not.
And what do you think that's going to do to businesses as a whole long term?
Well, the ones that most of them are, just won't tolerate it.
Yeah.
A good business won't tolerate it. They can't.
Right.
You got to have good, discipled people
Mhm.
that are disciplined
Mhm.
to, maintain a good business.
Okay. All right. So is there any last closing thoughts you want to share about the importance of leadership at home?
No, just to go into it with eyes wide open.
Mhm.
Uh, be the example that you want your children or employees to be.
Uh-huh.
Set that example for them
Okay.
and show them the expectations and make sure they do what you expect.
All right.